everybody. Welcome to another episode of Meet Dave. Thank you to everyone in Orlando, specifically Oviedo, Florida. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. But I had a great weekend this past weekend there as part of their barbecue, bourbon / bacon festival that they throw every year. They do comedy and they also do that festival. And this year just happened to be on the same day. And they booked me to come and I got to walk around and meet people and cook brisket and do the barbecue thing and then also go do my show. So it was a blast. Thank you so much to everyone that came out. I got a lot of shows coming up this weekend, guys. I'm going to be in Louisiana, May 10th, which is Friday at Lafayette. And then May 11th, Saturday night in New Orleans. I got a couple shows out here in LA. My monthly barbecue and comedy show is going to be May 14th this month. They've been so fun. And then we're doing a special one. I'm teaming up with Chef Bonotto. You guys know him from this podcast. We're going to do a special comedy show at South Bay Customs in El Segundo where you come, you do a happy hour. We got the comedy show and then the comedians and anyone who bought the VIP elevated dinner ticket gets to hang around and me and Chef Bonotto cook a amazing dinner and you sit down and you get to mingle with the comics and eat your meal and just have a good time. So that's going to be May 30th. Go to my website, davewilliamsoncomedy.com for more info on that. May 19th, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas. May 31st, my birthday, I'm going to be in Bakersfield at the Well Comedy Club. June 1st, I'm going to be at Corning, California at the Rolling Hills Casino. June 2nd, this is another one. I'm going to be up in Middleton, California at a barbecue restaurant that reached out to me. Barbecue by Basotti is how I was saying. I'm sure I'm butchering that. But that's going to be another fun one, barbecue infused. And then Raleigh, I'm going to do a barbecue festival there as well and then do a show at Good Nights. And that is going to be, the barbecue festival is June 8th. It's called Bubbles and Briskets. And then June 9th is where I'm going to be at Good Nights. So a lot of shows coming up, guys. Go to my schedule at davewilliamsoncomedy.com. And once again, thank you to everyone that came out this past weekend. If you want to buy some rub, Mother's Day and Father's Day are both coming up. You can buy my all-purpose seasoning and rub at davewilliamsoncomedy.com. And then I'm very excited about this episode. I did not make it to Hogs for the Cause this year. So I missed out that trip to Louisiana, but I am going to Louisiana this weekend. And that brings us to this week's guest. Perfect timing since I am going to New Orleans this weekend. She reps Buffalo, New York hard, but lives in New Orleans, is a food influencer. And I can't wait for you guys to hear how she had the journey to get to that place in her life and in her profession. A great follow, so make sure you follow her. Please meet my friend, Carla Pesono. You know how much we love Bear Mountain Barbecue wood brands around here. It's the only pellet I will put into my smoker. And right now, through July 22nd, they have a deal going on 3 of their flavors. They got a ton of different flavors that you can choose from. But now through July 22nd, their Chef's Choice, their Butcher's Blend, and the Chop House blends, they're rolling the price back from $11.97 to $9.97. So save a few bucks because it's grilling season. It's getting warmer outside. You guys are going to be firing up those smokers more than ever, and this adds up. So you can go to Walmart or shop online at walmart.com and get a deal, take advantage of this. And go to bearmountainbarbecue.com. I don't know if you've checked that out. It's a great resource. You can learn how to pair pellets with different foods, cooking styles. They've got a lot of info, times and levels of heat and the smoke that you want to shoot for. There's recipes, grilling tips, the whole 9 yards. bearmountainbarbecue.com. Go check out Walmart or walmart.com. Get these deals before they're gone. It's going to be going on through July 22nd. All right, cool. All right. Anything, are you good? Was that milk?
No, it's my coffee.
You just held that up and I thought it was a glass of milk.
It does look like that.
It's like Carla's really attacking the day with a glass of milk. Although, so we'll just use this to start. Carla, knowing you would have maybe a glass of blue cheese there, because this is, I don't know if we should even kick it off with this, because this might be our hottest take, but you and I, since I've become your friend, have battled to the death on blue cheese versus ranch.
Yes, there's no other option. It's blue cheese all the way.
Well, you're from Buffalo. You're a through and through Buffalo gal, right?
Yeah.
And you actually started a brand called Hot with Blue Cheese. Tell us about that.
I'm from Buffalo, and I live in New Orleans, and since I've been down here, like during COVID, I kind of took over as president of the Buffalo Bills backers of New Orleans. So not a lot of NFL teams have this, but the Buffalo Bills are, our fan base is
it's a
solid.
rabid fan base. The Bills Mafia, they jump off of RVs and land onto folding tables, which every barbecue guy in the world cringes when they see that, because yes, it's a great tailgate.
I cringe too.
Yeah,
I'm not for it.
But we appreciate a nice folding table in the barbecue world,
I'm not for it either. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's kind of dumb. But and I'm not. This might sound bad, but I'm not even for saying mafia. You'll never hear me say, "Yeah, I'm Bill's mafia."
Well, because you're Italian, so what does that's offensive to your people?
Yeah, kind of. But I also just think, I think it makes us look kind of trashy a little bit. And I don't think we are, but whatever. It's over with now. It is our name. That's what we're called. So I got to just let it go. But I'll never make clothing that says mafia or anything on it. I won't say the words Bills Mafia. I just won't say, I'll say Go Bills or let's go Buffalo, but that's it. But yeah, so I kind of took over as chapter president. We have a really great fan base down here, and I decided to start a company with my other presidente, Jason Kelly in Baton Rouge. He's a huge Bills fan from Buffalo as well, called Hot with Blue Cheese, because we always say, that's how you order your wings, hot with blue cheese. And so, make some cool Buffalo swag.
Well, so when I was growing up a Miami Dolphin fan, Miami versus Buffalo was the rivalry. And I got to tell you,
it still is. Squish the fish.
Yeah, it is. It's a big rivalry. But I got to tell you, my younger self would be disgusted with me saying this, but I've replaced my hatred for Buffalo with a bigger hatred for New England and the Jets. And Buffalo, while they're still a rival, I kind of like this iteration. They're fun to watch. The past few years, I've had a fun time watching the Bills, and I've gotten to be friends with a couple guys that play in the team. And I don't I want to beat them, but I don't hate them like I used. I respect them, and I respect the fan base. I think they're just so. When they were out there shoveling snow so they could play the playoff game, I'm just like, that's pretty cool, man. When you have fans that are that into it,
And then that last game, I went to Miami for the Miami Bills game.
Yeah, I saw you there. Yeah, we met up.
And I was on the Miami side, decked out in Bills gear, because Dave and his friends sneaked me into that side because my seats were so bad. And I ended up being with all Dolphins fans, and they were all looking at me like, get the hell out of here. It was funny.
And then you beat us.
And then we beat you.
So I've been to Buffalo once. My wife and I went to Niagara Falls, and then I decided I had half a day in Buffalo, and I'm like, we're eating chicken wings. That's what we're doing today. I'm like, I don't know if it was on your itinerary, but we are eating chicken wings while we're here.
Pizza and wing, or pizza too. People think wings, but we have some of the best pizza as well.
Well, before I taint your answer with my experience, give me a rundown of the best wings in Buffalo, in your opinion, and what to look for to get good wings in Buffalo.
Okay, so everywhere is going to be making great wings. We just do it right pretty much everywhere you go. But I think some of the best wings you can get are at, obviously, the top contenders that people talk about all the time are Duff's and Anchor Bar. Anchor Bar is the quote unquote original. It's not the best. I actually have never gone to Anchor Bar. Ever. Mm-hmm. People go there all the time because it's the original. Don't go there. Don't waste your time. Duff's is really good, but we got this spot called 911 Tavern. That is probably the best traditional chicken wing you can get. Central Park Grill on Main Street is another phenomenal one. They have this wing called the Fluff, and it's a garlic Parmesan barbecue wing. So what makes our wings really great too, and you know, Dave, in the barbecue world, a lot of the guys do this, is you char the wing on the grill and then toss it in the sauce, and you could char it again. So you get the char on the wing.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference. And not a lot of people do it like that. Like you could fry the wing and then put it on the grill and toss it in the sauce. And you get that crispy, but grill like char flavor. And it just makes a perfect wing. And that's how we do it in Buffalo with our barbecue wings. Central Park Grill does it phenomenal. The Fluff. Lenova is famous for that as well. So you could get some great barbecue wings from Lenova. There's a million places I could keep going. The Gate, Gabriel's Gate is phenomenal. Did you go there?
So that was finally where I felt like I achieved what I needed to in Buffalo. The first place we went was Anchor Bar, because that was like what pops up on the Google searches, right? And it's the original and everything. Trash, terrible,
trash.
Nothing special other than 1,000 other sports bars in America, and not even good. With that said, and I was really disappointed. And then the next one I think we went to was Duff's, and I was like, all right, we're getting a little better, These are decent. And then we went. I was like on the Niagara Falls tour and was like bitching about it, and a local was like, "Yo, go to Gabriel's." So we went to that. What is it? Gabriel's Gate? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So
we call it the Gate, but Gabriel's Gate.
Went there. Amazing. And not only were the wings amazing, but the ranch was homemade. All the sauces were like homemade there. Like our server literally told me, she goes, I made the ranch myself this morning. She's like, I handcrafted the ranch. And I'm like,
wait, you got ranch instead of blue cheese?
I mean, I get a little bit of both. I don't hate blue cheese. I like blue cheese, but I just like ranch more. All right. It's just in a perfect world. This is my favorite. And I like all different kinds of flavors or whatever and heat levels. But my perfect wing is I grab a flat. And it's just dry rub, no sauce on the actual wing, just dry rub. Okay. And then I'll dip it in a little bit of honey mustard, and I'll dip it in a little bit of ranch, and then straight off the bone. That's my favorite bite of wing, right? Like right there. Little honey mustard.
There's a good dry rub wing at Just Pizza in Buffalo. They have really good wings and pizza. And they do a like Cajun dry rub that is phenomenal. So we always get that dry rub.
Nice.
But did you get the French onion soup from the Gate?
Ooh, I don't remember.
That's what you have to get.
Yeah, maybe I got a couple different things, so I might have. But yeah, I don't.
You would remember it.
Okay, fair enough.
You would remember.
So, all right. So just to broad stroke your career path here. So you left Buffalo. You were a weather girl in Arkansas, I think, right? And then you left the weather game to be a food influencer. And this is your passion, and you're a great follow. If you're not already following Carla, follow her on Instagram and all the social medias at Carla Pesono. And you just really do a good job. You're in New Orleans, so a lot of your stuff is New Orleans influenced, but you don't let it stop there. Like I met you at Memphis in May, and so you go to these big barbecue festivals. You've really gotten to know a lot of the people in those worlds. And you, when you came out here to LA, we went and did a taco truck. So you just search out food and you do a great job telling the story, I think, in under a minute on Instagram. How did you go from weather girl to food influencer?
Well, I am an Italian girl from Buffalo who loves food. So off the bat, I already just always been obsessed with food growing up. When I was living in Chicago, that really sparked my interest of where I was like showing people where to eat in Chicago. And while I was going to school to be a journalist, I got my first TV job in Missouri. I was a weather anchor as well as a news anchor and reporter. When I left Missouri, when I was there, I also had a food segment called What's Carla Cooking? And I would make different recipes on air. And then I also had a food segment that was called 4 State Finds, where I would find hidden gems because we were covering the 4 states, Missouri, Arkansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, and Oklahoma. And so when I left that station, moved down south to Louisiana, started up the morning show at the NBC affiliate. And then that's where I started Carla's Kitchen. So while I was a news anchor and a weather anchor, traffic anchor, reporter, doing all these roles on air, I had such a passion for food. So I convinced my news director, can I please just cover the food scene as well? And I would go out and feature hidden gems. I left that station, came to New Orleans, became the morning anchor for ABC New Orleans, and continued the segment. It was super successful, really helping out these like local mom and pop shops get business. And then I was like, I'm over the TV scene. I just didn't really like the business. And I didn't like the schedule, but I knew I wanted to just cover food. In my dream world, it's like, oh, I wish I could just cover food, and that's my life. And I made it happen. I started my own media company right before the pandemic. I got out of the news. I was working as a content creator and a creative director for a global fitness brand, learned a lot about marketing. And through that, on the side, I was growing my business, and then entered last year full time as a food personality and content creator for the restaurant scene and events in New Orleans. So it was kind of this nice transition. It's like I'm still doing what I was doing on TV, but I'm just doing it digitally on social media. And I'm really helping out local businesses and brands, national, local, and of course, events. So that's kind of how the transition happened. But it's awesome.
But yeah, that's the way the world is now. And like, even as a stand-up comedian, like I forget it sometimes. And me and my buddies will be talking, and like for the history of the entertainment industry, you've always had to be like, oh man, if I could just get on Saturday Night Live, if I could just get my own sitcom. And honestly, you could just go be your own sitcom now. You can just put sketches out on Instagram now, like you don't even need to shoot it professionally. Like you can. I
mean, that's how Matt Rife got huge, right? That comedian.
Matt Rife got huge from
TikTok, from just constantly posting like
crowd work from his shows. Correct. Work. Yeah. You can literally just make your own channel now. You can make your own way, your own content, and building an audience is another thing. Some people you might sit in obscurity still forever. Other people you might be Matt Rife and you're selling out arenas. So it's really admirable that you saw that, and then probably a little bit ahead of the curve of a lot of people and went for it.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Like, if you have to just be consistent and just keep showing up and like staying true to your brand on whatever platform you want to use. And that consistency, you're going to start getting people knocking at your door saying, hey, I want to work with you, or I like you, or this and that. If you told me like a couple years ago, like this is where I would be, I almost like wouldn't believe it, because everything has been just coming to me. I haven't really like sought anything quite yet, which is great, and I'm working with some awesome people. So
do you have, so just for example, do you have like the restaurants that you review, for example, do they reach out to you and say, hey, we'd love for you to come try our food?
Yes. Always.
And so now when you go do that, do you feel obligated to give them a positive review? Or if it's trash, will you say it's trash?
Okay, so this is the question I get all the time, because if you follow me, you know that I'm very positive. Everything I talk about, I'm talking positive about, right?
Yeah.
Every place that I'm talking about, I am being honest. Like everything I'm saying, I'm being honest. My page isn't to bash places. And I'm not lying. So if I don't like the place, I'm not going to talk about it. Yeah, I'm not going to bash them, but I'm just not going to mention it. Now, I could also go to a restaurant and I could be eating the food, and maybe one of the dishes I don't like, I won't mention it. So I'll highlight the ones I do like and I recommend to my audience to get.
Got you.
So that's how I do it. But I'm always honest. And I mean, there's a reason people go, like, these restaurants are being successful. My followers listen to me and they agree with me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's influencers are coming in a lot of different forms these days, right? Yeah. And I already said, like, you're a great follow. But there are guys out there, and people are starting to figure it out, that will literally just, it's pay for play, you know? They'll take some money and they'll go and they'll be like, this is the best thing ever. And you're looking at it like, it doesn't look that good, you know?
Yeah.
And so they don't have the credibility, but they get, I think, a little drunk on the power. They have like 400,000 followers at that point. And so these restaurants are just paying for a positive review, you know? So
Yeah.
I think that's good that you have that philosophy and you have like that figured out, because it just, you have the fans have to trust what you're saying, you know?
Exactly. It's my integrity at the end of the day. This is my brand. I don't want to look like an idiot. I don't want to, I want to stay authentic to who I am. And people have to trust me. And if I tell them something and it's not good, like everyone's going to talk about it and be like, wow, Carla, you just did that for money.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. One time this guy during king cake season, he was like, hey, I really want you to try my king cake. And everyone was like blowing me up about this guy's king cake. So I'm like, wow, this must be good. I go and pick it up. It was horrible. Like rock hard, like terrible. And he's like, Carla, what did you think? I was like, to be honest, it's really bad. Like if you get the recipe right, you're like, he's like, well, are you going to do a review? I'm like, no, you want me to bash you? Like, do you want me to bash you? So like, he's like, well, no. And I'm like, he's like, oh, I thought you just do that because you'll do anything for free food.
No, that's me.
I'm like, whoa. I was like, that's insulting.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm sorry. He was just butthurt that I said that his king cake was bad. Yeah. But so that's an example. I'm not going to talk about it unless you want me to bash you.
See, he was getting you confused for me. I do terrible comedy shows all over the city just for free beers, basically.
Yeah.
I get paid in drink tickets most nights.
You get paid in drink tickets.
Well, not just restaurants, but you also go to, like I said before, Memphis in May. In New Orleans, there's a different festival every other week. And sometimes I'm looking at your Instagram and I'm like, how does Carla stay alive?
I know.
Like you're just nonstop and you don't miss any of it. You're there every day and you're getting all the footage and you're having fun, but at the same time, you're doing content. Like you got to be exhausted half the time.
It is really exhausting. So we're in spring season and we have back-to-back festivals like every single day. And we also do this in the fall. And then before spring is Mardi Gras. So literally from fall all year long, we are nonstop. Christmas time, it dies down, and then summer. That's the only dead time in New Orleans. And so, yeah, I don't know. I love it. I love being out there and it's just so fun to me. I get major FOMO if I'm not somewhere. So, yeah, I don't know. I just do it. But I love it. Like this is the best city for it. We just always have something fun going on. And like back to how me and you met was at Memphis in May. And I got into the barbecue scene because we have a huge barbecue festival here called Hogs for the Cause.
Which I missed this year. I wanted to go so bad. Everyone kept telling me, you got to go. But I had family stuff.
You're really missing out, Dave.
Yeah.
Come on.
Next year, 100%.
Get your shit together. You need to come.
All right. Next year, I'm in.
It's my favorite festival ever. I just love, but it goes back to the barbecue community. And one of my good friends here, James Cruz, he's one of the world barbecue champions in ribs. Met him a few years back. We stayed really close friends and he kind of brought me into the barbecue world. Hence why I went to Memphis in May. He's like, Carla, you got to come out here and just report on it. And I will say the barbecue world is my favorite world. The people are phenomenal. Everyone is down to earth. Everyone is just there for a good time. And there's no pretentiousness. Like everyone is just cool. Yeah. And wanting to help each other. And it's just good food, good laughs. And I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. I mean, I have a very similar progression is that I got from the entertainment into the food space because I just loved eating barbecue and I loved food. So from my passion for eating it, then became turned into a passion for cooking it. And then because of the people in the barbecue world, it's turned into, essentially a big part of my world, and it's totally just because of the relationships and the friendships that I made in the barbecue world, just the best people.
It's the best people. And I'm really looking forward to Memphis in May coming up. And
I'm going to miss it. I'm on the road.
Yeah.
So you have to tell me how it is now that they're changing locations and everything.
And there's another festival.
I heard that. It's called like Mole Fest or something, or
It's called Smoke. I don't know what it's called. Smoke Slam.
oh yeah, something wacky.
Smoke Slam. It's a barbecue festival that weekend, live music, all that. It's like a true festival. Whereas Memphis in May World Barbecue Championship is
a
like more
competition.
competition.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people buy tickets to go to Memphis in May thinking they're going to go in there and eat a bunch of great barbecue, but then they're just looking at people making barbecue to turn into for the competition, except for when, you and I and a couple of our friends were walking around, we were eating all the barbecue because they cook like 20 racks of ribs and then they only turn in one. So they got all this food, and then there's just food that's out to feed their like friends and their teammates and stuff. So when you know people, you eat a bunch. I mean, I don't think I paid for anything for like 3 days just walking around.
Shout out to Al Fergoni, who was cooking the best open fire steaks and
fed us
everything.
all weekend.
We just hung out with Al Fergoni, and he's going to be there. He's going to be cooking at Smoke Slam.
Nice. Well, I'm coming to Louisiana. I'm going to be in Lafayette on May 10th doing comedy, and I'm going to be in New Orleans on May 11th. You have one meal, one restaurant that we got to hit when I'm in New Orleans, or anytime someone comes to New Orleans. Where do you take them? And I've done all the tourist stuff, by the way. I've done all the tourist stuff before. A deep cut. Where's the one place that's a must go in New Orleans?
It's so hard.
Yeah.
There's two, though.
Okay, you can say two.
Okay. Because when you come to New Orleans, depending on the season, you have to get, the number one thing I think you have to get is charbroiled oysters. And they serve them at most restaurants here. So you could get them all over, and they're always good. Like, you can never have a bad charbroiled oyster. I mean, it's garlic, butter, parsley, herbs, and it's just all melted into that oyster, and it's charred on the grill. Oh, so good. Okay. For just one restaurant, I would say Giacomo's.
What is that, like jambalaya or po' boys, or what's Giacomo's?
No. So it's just an amazing Louisiana fare restaurant. Really cool vibe. It's right next to the Maple Leaf, which is like the famous live music venue. And it's like over in Uptown on Oak Street. And the food is just phenomenal. Like they have great fish dishes. They have an incredible escargot. They have an alligator cheesecake. So it looks like cheesecake, but it's savory, and it's got this delicious sauce, and it's got like a lot of alligator meat in it. It's phenomenal. But everything they have on the menu is just delicious. Last time I was there, I got soft shell crab. So it's just like Louisiana seafood.
Okay, so not Popeye's chicken is what you're saying.
Our Popeyes are the best. So if you want to get Popeyes, absolutely.
Look, just make a reservation somewhere. I'm going to be there, Howlin' Wolf, May 11th, and then we're all going out after for some of those oysters or the Giacomo's. I'm in. I want to eat some good food.
Oh, I'm going to be taking you everywhere. Get ready.
Right.
And you got to get beignets.
I definitely need to get beignets. I went to a bachelor party one time in New Orleans, and we're checking into the hotel, and I look out the window, and there's a park across the street, and I go, I wonder what's going on at the park. They're setting up a bunch of stuff. And I asked the front desk, and they go, oh, it's our fried chicken festival. And I'm like, oh my God. I look at the guys and I go, I don't know what you guys are doing this weekend, but I'm going to be over there. And literally we went to Fried Chicken Festival 2 days in a row and just ate because we were, out partying at night. So it was the best to wake up hungover, go over and just eat all you could eat fried chicken.
What year was that?
God, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They moved location. So it used to be over there.
It was on the river.
Yeah, now it's not. Now it's on the lake.
Well, I'll never go back again because I think that was my one chance. I think I'll have a heart attack if I do that twice in my life.
I judge the Fried Chicken Fest every year. It's fun. I like the Fried Chicken Fest. There's some good fried chicken sandwiches we have here.
There you go. All right. So from being in the news game to food influencer, and then you find yourself cooking for Gordon Ramsay on TV. Tell us about that.
I don't know.
How did you stumble into that?
Literally, casting found me on Instagram. That's it. They were like, hey, we think you'd be great. Are you interested in Masterchef? Never watched the show in my life. I was like, I don't know. And so I just went through the process, and they were like, we love you. We're going to fly you out to LA. And I'm like, nah. So I turned it down. And then they called me again and were begging me on a Saturday night. I was out to dinner, and they're like, can you just come to LA? Can you just do it?
they browbeat you into being on TV.
And I'm like, but like, am I going to get an apron? Because like, you got to guarantee me an apron. They're like, we can't guarantee you an apron, but we feel strongly about you. And I'm like, okay.
And then how'd it go?
So I get there, and I made it to top 40. They flew out about 80 people. And so they picked 40, and they wanted me to cook like home style food, like something that I love to make and something that represents my culture and family. I'm Italian, and my grandmother's recipe for homemade menegote is the best you will ever have. Still to this day, I've never had menegote made like this ever. I think it's the best. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put that recipe in there. And they ended up picking it because what happens is you have to submit recipes, and then obviously production picks it for you. And yeah, Gordon Ramsay liked it.
Yeah.
I made homemade menegote with a crawfish tomato cream sauce topped with sauteed shrimp. I mixed my Buffalo and New Orleans culture, and Gordon Ramsay gave me a yes. Daphne Oz was the guest judge. She gave me a yes. And then Joe Bastianich and Aaron Sanchez gave me a no. And you have to get 3 yeses to get an apron. So I didn't make it. But that was cool. That was surreal, standing there and having Gordon Ramsay eat your food.
Yeah.
Like, it's like really nerve-wracking. Like, it's kind of like, it was really cool. But I mean, he liked it. He gave me a yes. Look, it was delicious. Hey, listen, I know it was delicious. Yeah. And it's a TV show, remember, at the end of the day. So I don't think I was ever going to get it, even if I had the best dish.
Yeah. Oh, it's always a risk. Well, first of all, I think it was a perfect, if you were going to do a show, it was a perfect one for you because you represent your regions so hard, Yes. And you got to do that. You got to represent, your Italian roots and, being from Buffalo, because literally that episode of MasterChef was regions. So it was like the Northeast versus the South or whatever.
Yes.
So, you got to do a little bit with your, Buffalo branding and background and all that. And then, you're not really like your angle. I think it would be a little different for me. And I would still say yes to any of that stuff. And that's why I sit here where they're like begging you to come on. And I'm like, all they would have to do is just hint that I could come on and they wouldn't be able to get rid of me. I'd be there doing it, But, for me, it's like I do a lot of cooking and a lot of the actual, and I never claim to be an expert. Like, I'm an enthusiast, and then people just tell me that I'm good at it. But, I think your passion is covering the food, is eating the food, is experiencing the food, like you're not necessarily trying to be a chef or a cook or anything like that, So, even if they edit it or it ended up like it did where they knocked you out, I don't think it was like a bad look on you by any chance. I think you represented yourself well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It was pretty grueling being out there. Like, you're out, like just those first 4 episodes that you're shooting you're there for 3 weeks. Like, It's a long time, and you're like locked in. It was during COVID too. So had to wear the masks and all that. But yeah, like I did it for the experience. Like, if you really want me, sure, I'll come out and do it. But you're right. I'm more the journalist. I have the curiosity for food, and I love highlighting chefs and telling their story.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not looking to be a chef, but maybe one day I might do a pop-up here in New Orleans and make stuffed banana peppers.
Oh man.
That's a traditional Buffalo appetizer that is on most restaurants. You missed out if you didn't get that when you were in Buffalo. It's basically a banana pepper, and you stuff it with like ricotta and breadcrumbs, and I like putting gorgonzola and sausage, and then you bake it and you top it with marinara and breadcrumbs, and it's like, and cheese. And it's so good. And it's just like a spicy stuffed pepper. It's like an Italian stuffed pepper.
Yeah. Well,
so I think I want to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make them for your show.
I was going to say, what's wrong with next week? That sounds amazing.
That's a good idea. Wait a second. That's a really good, it's hard to get the really good banana peppers down here.
Yeah.
So I got to find them.
Well, we're working on the details. You already brought up James Cruz. It's not locked in yet. So as of whenever this podcast comes out, we'll know for sure. So maybe I'm misstepping here, but we're trying to get James Cruz to come and do barbecue at the Howlin' Wolf for my show in New Orleans. So, check out my Instagram. If it's happening, I'll be already promoting it by now when this episode comes out. But I hope it works out because you already brought him up. James Cruz is awesome, award-winning, pitmaster. Stockyard Landing is his branding for his cooks and everything. Just, he was on this podcast and invited me to come cook with him at Hogs for the Cause, which I missed. But
next year.
Yeah, he's awesome, and hopefully we'll work it out where he can be cooking. And if he's doing that, maybe you can do your peppers, and I would not be able to perform because I'd just be over with a food coma. So tell me a little bit. I was gonna say, tell me a little bit about Hogs for the Cause this year.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It's so great. And it just gets bigger and better every year. So Hogs for the Cause is one of the largest barbecue festivals in the nation. And it's the #1 fundraiser for pediatric brain cancer. So they've raised over $4 million for families that are going through, their child has brain cancer, and it just helps the families feel more comfortable and everything. And it's an incredible cause. It's a super sad cause, but they're really helping people out. And it's now become the #1 fundraiser for this cause in the nation. And it's also a barbecue festival, and we get great live music. This year, Band of Horses was headlining. Last year, we had St. Paul and the Broken Bones. It's out on the lakefront. Teams come together, and they just cook barbecue, and there's all different categories, and it is a competition at the end of the day, so the guys get really excited, and they have really fun team names. So you have Pork Gigolo, or you have Porktoberfest, and they're all dressed as German. It's just you got Hoggy Style. Yeah. So it's just fun and innuendos, and everyone just has a ball out there, and it's a big party. So it's a 2-day festival. Friday, it's wing and I can't remember what else they cook on Friday night for the public. And then at night, it turns into a party. So about 4 of the teams, and every year it's the same thing. It's Boar's Nest, Hoggy Style, Piglet, and Smoke Show, Cook Squad. They put on these ragers. It's like a rave, literally. They bring in DJs from Vegas, live bands, and it's insanity. We got ice sculptures. People are doing shots. We got girls in these hot outfits, strippers dancing. It's wild. Yeah. And people party till 6 a.m. because
they're all cooking anyways. Yeah.
Everyone's cooking barbecue. Yep. So it's just a big party. And then the next day is the competition. So it's focus. They're everyone's turning in their entries. And there's great live music throughout the day. And then it's the award show. It's just a great 2-day festival. And I cannot stress enough how freaking awesome it is. Everyone needs to experience it.
Yeah, well, every barbecue festival highlight is definitely the team names. And I'm wearing my Pablo Escobar barbecue shirt today.
I love that. I wish I could see the logo clear.
Yeah, it's a little small. Sorry about that. I want to back up a little bit before we run out of time and just go. I want to highlight what you do, and walk me through you're going to a restaurant, you're excited to try it out. You're gonna have to highlight the good stuff like you mentioned before. Walk me through that process, and also does there get to be a point where you're just eating too much, where it just gets hard to truly enjoy the food because you have to eat so much?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely gained 25 pounds, for real.
Part of the job.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm surprised I'm not even bigger than what I.
You're preaching to the choir. People tell me all the time, they're like, "How are you not 300 pounds with all the meat you eat?" And I'm like, "Well, I eat salads and I work out. I just don't put that on Instagram. Like I just put the meat on Instagram.
Exactly. And all the food I do get, like people are giving me these spreads. I don't eat it all in one sitting. I will bring home some or maybe give away some. But so coming from a news background, when I go do these shoots, I don't think like an influencer, like a social media person. I think of like, all right, I'm doing a piece. So I come out, it's just me with my phone and a tripod. And it's hilarious. Sometimes I'll go on a set or I'll go to a restaurant and they're like, oh, are we not shooting today? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, where's your crew? People think I have a crew.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's
your
just
stuff
me.
looks good. Like it's always well lit. It's always like good angles. Like you pull off a good, product.
Yeah, well, thank you. So yeah, it's just me. But I basically like interview the owners. The creative flow happens when I'm there. So sometimes I don't know what the story is going to be until I get there. But yeah, I just get a ton of footage, get the food, show it getting made, talk about it, eat it, compliment, just talk about it, and then talk about cocktails, and that's it.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, it's easy peasy.
And you don't discriminate. We already brought up Popeyes. You don't discriminate against the commercial spots either, because I know you love Raising Cane's.
Oh, yes. I am a cane ambassador, actually. And also, I love Chick-fil-A. Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
Just fast food chicken is your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I love that. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big Popeyes girl. That's not my go-to. Yeah. If I want chicken, I want Chick-fil-A or Cane's.
All right.
Cane's is number one, though. And then Taco Bell.
Yeah. Well, I saw you bring up about the limited edition pimento cheese sandwich at Chick-fil-A. And I can't tell you how upset I was. I kept seeing ads for it. And I was like, man, next time I go to Chick-fil-A quite frequently. And just for whatever reason, I didn't go to Chick-fil-A for a little while. And I was like, man, that looks really good. I love pimento cheese. And I'm like, dude, I can't wait to try that. And then finally, I went to a Chick-fil-A somewhere and I go, I'll have the pimento cheese chicken sandwich, please. And they're like, we haven't had that for weeks. That was a limited time offer. And I was no. I was so mad.
It was limited. Hopefully they bring it back.
Yeah, they got to, right?
It was really good.
I don't see how it couldn't be. The best, Carla, I got to tell you, the best, and I've said it 1,000 times on this podcast to the listeners, it's nothing new to them, but the best chicken sandwich in the country is at a place called Saw's Soul Kitchen or Saw's Barbecue in Birmingham, specifically the Avondale location, but I'm sure they have this on their menu at all of them now. But it's a sweet tea marinated fried chicken sandwich with a scoop of pimento cheese and Alabama white sauce on it. And it is incredible. It'll change your life.
Is it like a buttery brioche? Like, what's the bread?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I do think it's a brioche bun. It's a very good bun. And I think they put a little bit of slaw on it too, but not too much.
Okay.
I want to say it's been a while since I've been there, so I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think there are some pickles on there. What's
the place called?
Saw's, S-A-W-S. Saw's Barbecue in Birmingham. Incredible. Okay. And they've actually won awards with that chicken sandwich at the World Food Championships and stuff like that. But my homies there, dude, they just do an awesome job with it.
Ooh.
Yeah, let me know if you're ever in Birmingham. I'll set you up with my buddy Matthew. You're gonna have your mind blown.
Okay, so it's the sweet tea fried chicken. It's got pickles and white sauce.
Yep, sweet tea marinated fried chicken sandwich.
Wow, sweet tea. I would never think to go for that one.
Yep. Well, there you go. That's why we got to share this information.
Sweet?
No, you don't really taste the sweet tea, I don't think. I'm sure that kind of gets burned out a little bit, but I'm sure it helps with the kick or the flavor or something. But I'm just telling you overall, and it's probably the gigantic scoop of pimento cheese on top that's the real catalyst. But yeah. I'm telling you, you're going to love it.
There's 2 fried chicken sandwiches when you come here that I want you to try.
Okay. All right. I'm in. This is going to be a problematic trip for me, I think, food-wise.
You're going to gain a lot of weight. You're going to have to just be ready.
But this happens to me all the time. I go somewhere for a gig and I'm like, I want to try all the food, you know? And then people are recommending barbecue spots. Now I'm eating 3 different barbecue joints in 24 hours. And I'm just like, I can't do this and do a show for an hour and not sweat everywhere. But you know,
I'm going to be very strategic with what we're going to get. And I'm going to plan it out. So you're not going to be overstuffed, but you're going to like get what you need.
All right. Well, I'll appreciate having a food Sherpa for the weekend. All right. Well, before I let you go, Carla, do you have anything to promote? Where can people follow you? And then what's next? What do you got coming up? Like, where do you see all this going?
I don't know. Follow me on Instagram. Just my name, Carla Pesono. I don't have a fun foodie name because I'm the only Carla Pesono in the world. But yeah, just follow me. I plan on having a show soon, so I'm going to get back into doing more long format episodes. So that's coming. And yeah, just traveling more. I want to check out more places outside of New Orleans.
All right, awesome. Well, let me know how Memphis in May goes this year. I promise I'll be at Hogs for the Cause. I'm going to see you this week, May 11th, Saturday night in New Orleans. And then if you're in Lafayette, I'm going to be there the night before, May 10th.
I got a big crew going there for you on that night.
Please, those are my best friends in the world that tell me they have big crews going out to see me at different spots.
And it's the Smoke Show Cook Squad from Hogs for the Cause. That team is going to be coming to your show.
Perfect. My people. I love it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you spreading the word. And what about are you going to post the taco video that we did out here?
Yes, I am. I just have to get through festival season because everything is about what's coming up.
I got you.
So I'm drowning in it, but I was going to post it next week.
Okay. So let's just, before I let you go, do you remember, how do you say that, the name of that taco truck?
Oh, I don't freaking know. Marisco Jalisco.
How do we do, Luis?
I mean, do you want me to give an honest critique?
Do you know what we're talking about?
Here, I'm going to type it in this tab.
Have you been there before?
No, but it's probably Mariscos Jaliscos or Mariscos Jaliscos.
Okay, here.
You just said it.
Say it again.
Mariscos Jalisco, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
No, that is it.
Luis is what you call Mexican.
Marisco Jalisco.
Luis, I got to take you, dude. Like they had, the ceviche was insane, right? And then they had a lot of dishes that were like octopus based or, you know, like stuff like that. But I got to tell you, just straight up, the taco was insane. Taco.
Yeah, they wouldn't tell us what was inside.
There was shrimp and some other shit.
Yeah, there was some, it tasted like a potato or something inside. And he's like, oh, we can't tell you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'll go and ask them in Spanish.
There you go.
I'll probably get
they don't want the gringos getting their secrets and then opening up a restaurant somewhere.
Yeah, see if you can get it out.
They'll let Luis know. Dude, it was insane. I mean, I've had tacos all over LA and all over the world, and one of the best tacos I've ever put in my mouth. And so we got a video about that coming out, so I'll let you know when it comes out. But it was insane. It was really good.
It was phenomenal.
Well, Carla, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much for doing this. Can't wait till, I'll see you this week. And then can't wait to have some food adventures with you.
I know. I can't wait. Thank you so much, Dave, for having me on.
You got it.
What a pleasure.
Well, see you this week.
See you this week.